What's up, Daily Doodlers? I hope you're all having a great day today. If not, then you're in luck, because today I am going to be introducing you to a program that will change your life if you don't already know what it is. So this program is called Krita. If you don't know what Krita is, there is a link in the description below. It is a digital painting program, and it is completely free, and it is probably the closest to Adobe Photoshop you will ever get, with it still being free. So it's a pretty incredible program. I had never heard of it until the other day, and I just kind of wanted to introduce it to you guys and give you some of the basics that I've learned. Like I said, I've only been messing with it for a few days, so this by no means is going to be a comprehensive tutorial. However, I just kind of wanted to show you the basics and the things that I have learned that may not be extremely obvious when you first open up the program, to hopefully get you started with it and get you a little set up. So this is the default screen that you see when you first open it up, and to me, I don't really like this setup. I personally think that this color selection is way too small, and as well as these layers, I can only view 2 layers at a time. I don't really like that, but I can actually pull these out and I can move them around to wherever I want on the screen. So what I like to do is I like to move this up here, and actually I'm going to expand this a little bit so I can see all of these. When you first open your program, your icons for the brushes won't be small like this. They're actually probably going to be more around the middle here, around this size. So if you want to make them small like I did, then you just click on this little like page looking thing, and then you can either change it so that you can see the details, how big the brushes are, or you can change it so that you just see the thumbnails. And like I said, I like to make it smaller so that I can see all of the brushes. I can very clearly tell what all of these are. At the moment, that's my setup. It's very, very simple, but you can arrange these. You can arrange these in any way you want. You can put the layers up here, you can put them over here, you can just click this little X button here to just straight up get rid of it. If you ever accidentally close out one of these little window things here, then you can actually go up to settings, and this is what confused me the most about Windows. I would think it would be in this window setting, but it's actually not. It's in settings, and you go to Dockers. They're actually called Dockers, and then you have all of these different choices for Dockers that you can add to your viewfinder. So you can see they even have ways that you can do animation, which I have not messed with yet, but I will in the very near future, because I'm really curious if that's any good or not. But yeah, so you can just get rid of these, uncheck them. Let's see, Comics Manager, what is that? That's this, okay. So yeah, so you can just you can choose any of these you want and add them to your screen. You can see what all of them does. I'm not sure what all of them do yet. But yeah, so that's just a very basics on getting started with the Dockers in this program. The next thing I want to cover is the brushes. If you look at these brushes, when I first opened up this program, I thought that these were all the brushes that they had, and I was like, that's not a ton of brushes, but you know, it's a fair amount. But if you actually go up to this where it says ink and you click on that, it opens up all of these different categories. And if you click on all, you can see there is a lot more brushes than I originally thought there were. So that is very, very nice. I haven't played with all of them yet. See, they've got like these cool, ooh, can't really see that. Let me make it black. That would probably be easier to see. Yeah, they got like this cool speckle thing, and you see, since I made my canvas kind of this tan color and I put that over, it kind of looks like recycled paper. That's kind of a neat effect that you can do to things if you ever need kind of a speckled effect like that. So then they have ink, which is the default, and this is the one that I've messed with the most and have some of the most experience with. And these dotted brushes are absolutely 100% my favorite out of all of these. These are so cool. If you look, you can see it gives this really cool, like, comic book effect. The amount of the dots depends on the pressure you are putting on the pen, and there's really no overlap. Even if you try to overlap it, even if you, like, draw over it again, there is really no way to overlap it. It always stays the same. The only way to overlap it is if you start off drawing really light, and then you draw over it again dark. But it kind of just, and then there's this one as well. It's basically the same thing. It's just instead of getting darker, it gets bigger or smaller. And I just think that is so neat. I think I absolutely love this. This is something that I have personally wanted in some of my drawings that I'm just like, well, I don't feel like creating a million spots, so I guess I'm just gonna not do that. So yeah, it's really effective if you want to create more of a comic style art, and I just think it's really cool. As for these other brushes, you just have some basic brushes here that are good for just basic drawing or sketching. So there are a lot of really cool brushes here, and of course there are more. We have paint here. Lots and lots of different brush options to give you really cool effects. You can use these brushes to kind of blend together. Ooh, that one's cool. I haven't seen this one yet. Like I said, this is not a comprehensive tutorial. This is just something to kind of get you started, so I'm going to move on. But if you want to adjust the size or the opacity, that can be found in the top right corner here. These are, pretty obvious, so they're not too difficult to find. But yes, of course, one is the smaller it is, and then the bigger. And then we have opacity, so 100% opacity, 75% opacity, 50% opacity, 25, and 0 is obviously nothing. We have eraser mode, which is really cool. Instead of, they have a section with erasers. They have two different erasers. We've got the hard and then the soft. But then if you switch to eraser mode, so for example, let's go to textures, and then let's go to these dots, and then let's switch to eraser mode, and you're erasing away the background, but you're using the brush that you have selected rather than an actual eraser. So you're not really limited to erasers. You actually, any brush you have in this library can be an eraser. This would be a really nice brush for making grass, which I think, based off of the shape, that's probably what it's meant to be. Okay, so next I'm going to cover some of these tools. So we have the text tool. If you just, put up a text, you can use this for maybe if you are creating comics. I'm probably going to be creating comics in the future where I'm going to need to insert text. So yeah, you can change the fonts here. You can do the texts. Hello. You can change you can bold it, you can italicize it, underline it. You can change the size, the color. You could even color drop things on your actual canvas here, which is really nice. Okay, so this changes the spacing between the letters, so you can see up there everything's kind of spaced normally, but then as you turn it up, the spaces between the letters start to get more or less, depending on, how much you have. Ooh, can you even that's weird. Oh, you can make it backwards. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I love that. Okay. Sorry. Like I said, I'm still learning this program as well. And then once it's to where you're satisfied with it, you can either save or discard it. I'm gonna go ahead and save it for now. Probably, I picked kind of a terrible color. Okay, and then these ones are pretty simple. You have the different shapes, the line tools, the circle, oval. You can also make your own shapes. And then if you hold shift, you can make a perfect square or circle rather than a rectangle. So that's a pretty common feature. This one also is pretty neat. It's just, using multiple brushes. So you can just kind of make really cool designs. Just using a very, very easy, simplistic kind of multi-brush thing. These are things that I'm going to have to get used to. I know that Adobe Illustrate also has Bezier curve tools like this, but it's you can curve it how you want, and then if you press and hold, you can adjust it, and then you can, this is definitely something I'm going to have to get used to. I've personally never used a tool like this before, but I know it can be extremely, extremely useful. I'm honestly very excited to finally have a tool like this. So now let's go to these selection tools. You can't use any of these unless you already have something on the layer, so let's go ahead and draw just some random thing on the layer. If you do this, then it just selects the whole thing, and you can move it however you like. If you select this, then you can just move it around the canvas without resizing it. Okay, and then these are kind of related to the selection tools. You have the square selection tool, where you can select a square portion, or you have the circle, you can select just a circle. And with these, if you want to, let's say you select that, and then you want to add on to the selection rather than replace the selection, you can just hold down shift, and you can add to the selection. And then, again, these are kind of like the shape tools, except instead of drawing a shape, you're just selecting a portion, and then the freehand tool, if you just wanted to draw around your selection, you can do that as well. And then the magic wand is my favorite part of any digital art program. If a digital art program does not have the magic wand, I will not use the program. But you can just select it, and it just goes right against the edge of the thing that you're using, and it's so incredibly nice. Anything that you can select, you can then, so if you just want to select that, you can then go back up to these move tools, and you can use this. Whoops. You can use these to just take the one portion that you've selected and move it around. Okay, so let's go up to these tools here, and this one is pretty clear. We have, here, let me get rid of, okay, this one is pretty clear. This is just an eyedropper so that you can pick up any color that you already have on the canvas. And then this one is really nice. This is a gradient. So if you want to fill the canvas with a gradient, then you can do that. You can either do it short like this, or you can do it long like this, and you can also do it with selections. So let's make just a quick circle here, and then if I do this, and there we go, we have a nice little gradient there. It is by no means a replacement for shading yourself, but it's kind of a nice way to get started. And then these two at the bottom are the move tool and the zoom tool. You can use the scroll bar on your mouse to zoom in and out. Going over here to this part, the advanced color selector is really nice. It's just a very simple color wheel, as well as, you can change the saturation and all of that. I find it really nice. Another thing that I find really, really nice, so if you choose kind of more of a skin color here, so let's say you have this skin color, if you want to, do their lips or maybe their cheeks a little bit. I'm no means a professional at skin coloring, but this is kind of helping me a little bit. You can kind of change this tone, this top bar a little bit to make it a little more pinkish so that it's still the same, within the same range of your skin color that you have chosen, but it is more pink to match your character's lips. Yeah, I think those are really nice. You can also go to tool options, and this is, for me, it is so nice. So you can see this right now where there's nothing on it, you're just drawing, and sometimes when you're drawing, especially when you're trying to do something very specific, it can be difficult to control your brush and to get the perfect stroke. But what you can do is you can go down to this stabilizer, and right now the stabilizer is at 15 pixels delay, which is not a huge delay, but it can be just enough to get exactly what you were looking for. You can always turn that up and make it a much bigger delay, which, in my opinion is not very helpful, but maybe if you do it somewhere in the middle here, it's a lot more of a delay. You can get more of a controlled brush stroke to help you with that. The stabilizer is definitely one of my favorite tools when it comes to drawing. It's very, very useful. You can create much smoother lines and much smoother effects with it, so I highly recommend using that. And then we have the layers here. If you want to add a layer, you hit this add button here. If you want to delete a layer, you can hit the trash button. This copies the layer, so if I draw something real fast here, I could just do that, and then I copy that, and then it's a completely new layer with the exact same drawing. These buttons move the layer up and down, but you can also pick up and drag them wherever you want to move them. These are just different options. You can choose to give different effects to your layers. Each of these do something different. If you I don't fully understand all of these myself, so I would recommend looking up a tutorial on that if you really want to know what the difference between all of these are and why, if you actually need any of these. But some of them can be really, really nice, so I would recommend trying to look up a tutorial on these. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is this patterns tool, and this is a really, really cool option here. You can see there's a lot of different textures and stuff, and this one I actually had to look up how to use these because I wasn't totally sure, but I'll just tell you how to do it real fast, so that you don't have to watch the tutorial because it was kind of painful to watch. But so you see this, you click on, you choose what pattern you want to use. Maybe I'll do, let's do this one. So I have my pattern selected, so you can see it up there even when I go out of it. And then you go to the paint bucket, and over here in tool options, you can see you can change all of these different things with the tool. What I am going to do is I'm going to click on this use pattern, and then once I go into my canvas and I click on the canvas, you'll see it is there. Now this was probably a bad pattern to use. Let me go ahead and change it to, I don't know, this one. So there we go. So you can see, this would be good for maybe doing one of those really old ugly couches, or maybe making a tablecloth, or things like that, and then you can always draw over it and make it in shading and stuff. just like the regular paint tool, when it's not a pattern, you can always select a certain portion of your drawing and use the pattern only in that portion. You can even change the pattern. Let's do, I don't know, let's do these hexagons. And something I forgot to mention earlier is you can actually invert the selection. And what that means is if you go up to here on the very, very top and hit the select, you can go to invert selection, and then it just inverts the selection. So what was selected before is no longer selected. So this circle is no longer selected, and instead the rest of the canvas is. So then you can go ahead and put the, you can go ahead and fill or paint or whatever in this selection. Okay, and the final thing I'm going to show you guys really fast is I'm going to show you how you can change your shortcuts, because the shortcuts in any default program are not efficient. So if you go up here to settings and click on configure Krita, you can just go ahead and change any and all of these different options, these different shortcuts. So if you go down to, let's say, tool shortcuts, you can change the color picker, and I've already kind of messed with these a little bit, so these are not the defaults, but you'll see what the defaults are when you open your program. So yeah, you can just choose whatever tools you want. Let's say I want to change this to a Q, and then I can go ahead and hit OK, and then whenever I press that, it changes to, it then changes to whatever I need. So that's how you change your keyboard shortcuts, and you can configure that however is best or more efficient for you. So yeah, that is just a quick overview into Krita. Like I said, it is by no means a comprehensive tutorial, but it's just kind of a few of the basics to help you get started. I really, really love this program. I think it's so incredibly professional, and it's all completely free. So if you want to check it out, the link is in the description below. If you guys want to see tutorials on this program, if you want me to, once I've kind of gotten used to this program a little bit more and kind of learned the more of the ins and outs of it myself, if you guys want to see me give a few more tutorials on this program, then go ahead and let me know in the comments down below, and I will absolutely do that. But yeah, I just wanted to introduce this program to anyone who may have never seen it before, because I certainly had never seen it before until the other day. So that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like, and if you happen to be new, also consider subscribing to join my daily doodlers. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!